Hi again. My name's Quinton.
I'm MJ. I'm just saying.
Just welcome back.
Welcome back.
Greetings and salutations. Today we're going to review the movie Knock at the Cabin, starring Jonathan Groff and what was the Ben Aldridge. That's
Ben
one.
Aldridge.
Oh yeah, Dave Bautista, the Weasley, Ron Weasley.
Robert. Or Rupert? Rupert. It's Rupert. I don't know his last name. Don't ask me to pronounce his last name. I can do it for you, but it's Ron Weasley.
Yeah. It's Rupert.
Forever known Ron Weasley.
I like Rupert better. It sounds. I'm pretty sure there was a dog named
You
Rupert.
think of Rupert Giles.
I don't know who that is.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Of course. Well, I'm not surprised. And then also Wynn, who was the little girl in the movie. There's the daughter of Jonathan Groff's character and Ben's character.
I was like, who are you trying to say?
I couldn't remember his name for a second. It's a thing. And it was a movie.
It was definitely a movie. It was interesting. It gave you those vibes of Cabin in the Woods and the crazies, strangers type things.
It gave me a vibe of I'm intrigued to see what happened, but it's kind of like a car wreck in a way, because I'm very confused as to what's going on, and it was confusing.
Well, but you know what's funny? A lot of M. Night's movies are like that, to be honest. So, by the way, M. Night is the one that made this, along with the I'm just gonna say it, very bad movie named Old.
Never saw it.
Good thing you didn't. I mean, it was good, but I'm not gonna be honest. It was like this, like it was one of those things like it starts like, oh, okay, I can see where this is going, and then all of a sudden it's just like, what the fuck?
Like surprise. Like, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, M. Night Shyamalan has done a lot of good movies too, but there's an acquired taste for him. If you're going to be a fan, by all means, do you boo.
I feel like you need to be in like literally a mood to watch his movies.
Facts. Or anything but sober.
That part. That part right there.
I had a few glasses of wine during the movie.
I didn't. I kind of almost fell asleep too, I'm not gonna lie.
It did get drawn out a few times because you have Dave Bautista, who plays Leonard, as one of the characters. Sabrina, who's played by Nikki Amuka Bird, and Adrian, who's played by Abby Quinn, and then Rupert, who plays Redmond. They play these apocalyptic characters who find this couple in the woods who happen to be played by Ben and Jonathan. Yes, they all have the same dreams kind of thing, which I thought was
Raven moments is what I like to call them, is what they did.
That was probably the only part that I found to be very interesting. I was like, okay, they didn't really go into the dreams. I thought they would be more, I don't know, elaborate on it a little bit more, I guess. They were like, oh, I had this dream, and I had it too, so we met up on a forum.
It was weird, because like, for as long as the movie was, the story really didn't go anywhere.
It really didn't. It was just like talking in circles. It was
it was one of those movies where like legit, like it's like, okay, where are we going with this? What is happening?
Yeah.
So far, nothing's happening.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing at all.
And they had a tsunami.
They did. And I'm just going to say this. If you see a tsunami ever in your life, do not point. Do not go, what is that? You fucking run. Run so fast, so far.
Don't worry about Snapchat. Don't worry about posting it live.
Or if you're smart, we have the freaking front camera. You just, as you're running, it's behind me, guys. I'm going. That. Do that.
Yeah. Instead of saying like, what is that? I don't understand. Oh no, now we run.
Literally,
now it's too
they
late.
waited until it got like pretty much to the mountain part. Like, that
Yeah.
giant rock. And then that's when everyone was like, oh fuck, it's a big wave. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was really ridiculous.
And you can't tell me that this universe world this movie is in, that they didn't have the day after tomorrow. They didn't have 2012. Every universe has that. Everyone knows when you see water, you run.
You would think so, but no, not so much.
I run from the little waves at the beach. God damn it.
Well, that's because you can't swim, so that's a whole different story.
Doggy.
Not in a tsunami. You're dead.
Not wrong.
And I'm not gonna say the acting. Yeah, the acting was bad. Actually, I tried to say it, but no. Dave Bautista's character Leonard reminds me of a character, his Drax character, and where he's not dumb, but also not the brightest. But yet he's the leader?
He was boring as fuck. Like literally, out of all of them, his character was the most boring, and I mean, I understand because they're trying to make him like be compassionate and all that. And I mean, you can be compassionate, but at the same time, you can do it with a little bit of flavor.
He's also a teacher.
I had fun teachers. I mean, yes, majority of them were boring, but I did have those fun ones, which is what made me want to go to class.
The 2 times you went.
3.
Oh, my bad.
Because in one of them we got snacks every day.
Did you get a nap too?
No, that's when I skipped third lunch.
Oh, that makes sense. The one thing I will say, like, so this apocalyptic group, they go off to this family in the woods, and they have to sacrifice a member of their family. So it's the gay couple and Win, who's played by Kristen Chow, I want to say it's pronounced, or Koi. Chow or Koi, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it's played by her.
I mean, English is hard for me.
True. And math. And history.
Shut up.
And
I love
geography.
history.
Didn't say it was easy.
It's my favorite. It's the easiest. I
Yeah,
watch
'cause
so
you
much
can't change
YouTube
it.
on it. It's great.
Well, you can't change history. It's there.
That's
It's
why
already
it's
written in the
nice.
books.
Until you burn those books and rewrite it.
Yeah, or just omit things completely. So, yeah, so she's out collecting grasshoppers, and then she's approached by Batista's character.
And I just want to point out one thing I loved, since she's grabbing ADHD. Sorry, my brain's got to come back. Yes, she's grabbing these grasshoppers, and she has her whole like little journal thing, but she's like studying them. She said, and I just thought that was so interesting for like I want to say she's like 5 or 6.
Like, she's 6 years old. Most 6-year-olds are like, aren't they on video games? And
Not all of
stuff?
them. My one of my good friends actually, her 6-year-old at the time, we called her K-Bug because her name was K. I'm not gonna say actually her name, but we called her K-Bug because she was actually so interested in bugs and like what they did, how their habitat was, collecting them, all that. So no, I would say yeah. And most kids, yes, they would be doing other things like video games and anything that was not about bugs or learning. I just want to say learning.
To be fair, when I was a kid, I was reading encyclopedias for fun. So that was a thing.
I was making mud
Dictionary.
castles.
I didn't like going outside, actually, now that I think about it.
I was forced.
I was
Literally.
told to, and I just sat in a corner that was the cleanest on the ground and did something that didn't require me getting dirty. I hated getting dirty as a kid. Like, so then, what was it? Oh, so yeah, they come into the house, they make their way into the house, and like trying to get them like, you need to sacrifice someone so you can save the world. Yeah. Like,
Been there, done that, seen that, and that's where I was thinking like, oh, the crazies, the frickin'
oh yeah, with the baby. Oh,
and
no,
like the strangers or whatever. The crazies is when like
wasn't it the chick that was pregnant and like?
no, you were thinking of I think it's called Silent actually.
No, it wasn't that one. It had an angel in it. So there's like these like zombie things, and they're trying to get to the girl. She's pregnant. If she has the baby, the world is saved. But if they manage to get to her and kill her,
no idea
Oh.
what movie you're talking about.
it wasn't the greatest
That
movie.
sounds
But it was
like
actually pretty good.
Sounds like one of those kinds of movies.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much.
No,
yeah,
but the
except for it's, like, a whole
crazy.
bunch of demons.
If I remember correctly, the Crazies, which is also actually a pretty good movie. They have 2 of them. I believe their water gets contaminated with something, and they just literally start going crazy and killing people, and then killing themselves, and destroying towns, and it's a great thing.
That sounds very familiar. I feel like I've seen
I
that.
think it came out in like 2009. I mean, I could search, but we're talking about a different movie now.
Yeah, we gotta focus. It happens. That's what you guys are here for. So yeah, they have to sacrifice, and then like literally the whole movie is sacrifice someone, or we're gonna kill one of ourselves before like the world ends.
Yeah, that threw me off when
Yeah.
he was all like, "I'm so scared." I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to spoil so much. But he was all like, "I'm so scared. Like, I hope you guys don't know this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just as scared, and this is horrible." And then all of a sudden,
And it's like bye-bye.
what? Like, okay. And then it's like, wait, are they gonna do this for everyone? And yeah, like,
So then, like, that was kind of the thing, and they go through until they make their decision who's gonna get sacrificed, and I'm just like, okay, and like, oh, this was timed because so Daddy Andrew, who's been out just
exactly.
yeah, he definitely gave off daddy vibes for sure. You can tell he was the top in the relationship.
Definitely was. Definitely was.
But he was like, this is all a hoax. This is, you guys are targeting us because we're gay and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, actually, we didn't know. We just need you guys to like sacrifice yourselves so we can save the world. It was like,
Literally.
okay, how do you take that? Like, what is your response? Like, you're with whomever out in the woods, have a nice little family getaway, and you get accosted by like these strangers, like, kill someone in your family to save the world. What would your process be?
I'd laugh. I'd be like, I can't be the one. You're kidding. Like, you're kidding.
Does suicide count as a sacrifice?
I know I'm not that important. Come on now.
They're like, no, we're serious. You must kill one of your family. It's like, well, see you later, guys. Like,
I'd be like, I volunteer as tribute.
And may the odds be out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the story didn't go anywhere because like they were showing
really
certain things, and it's like, okay, so eventually
Yeah.
this is going to play part again. Like, this is gonna come back up. They're going to mention this again, but they don't. It's just okay. You're showing us these memories that they have together.
There's only one time where the memories connect it back, and it's when the bar scene.
Yeah.
And that plays a role towards the end of the movie. But I'm just like, really? We sat through an hour and 40 minutes of this just for you to get to this point? You could like did all that in it would have been better as a short film. Like I felt like a YouTube short film.
I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those movies that I would not have seen in theaters, but I did.
But we did.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. What honestly drew me in was when the trailer looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, like that is what drew me in. But not only that, like the cover too, like the poster, like what they have for the Knox. So I was like, oh, okay, because it shows the four of them on it, like. So you know it's about, you know,
very misleading.
something like that's gonna happen. Right, but that's why I was interested, because I was like, okay, this does seem like what's gonna happen. Like, it was one of those movies like where I was like, okay, like if I wouldn't have saw it and I waited for it to stream, I would have been like, okay, yes, this is definitely a streaming movie, like, you should have came here. But now if I knew the story before going to theaters, I would have been like, yeah, no, you know what I mean? Like,
See, if you had watched our review ahead of time, you would have known
exactly.
that.
If we just did this ahead of time, I would have been like, all right, do not waste your money. No offense, but it was just,
Well, luckily we went on a cheap movie day. It was like what, $5 Tuesday or whatever. So
yes, you guys, don't forget $5 Tuesdays are a thing at literally almost every theaters. That's how we see a lot of our movies.
So yeah, they have their little flashback scenes with Daddy Andrew's family and kind of tie in Win and Daddy Eric, but not enough to make me care.
Yeah, legit. Like they tried going back. Well, like they did. We're gonna do this little spoiler. They go back to when they adopt her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay. And I think the only reason they went back to adopt her was literally just to show her lip. That was it.
Yeah, that literally
like,
had
I think
no,
that was it, just for the viewers to see, like, oh, because she
like,
explains it, but like,
she says
you know.
it, and then it was kind of like one of the things where like they were like happy and like, oh, she's ours now, but you know.
I think it was one of those things like to show like it didn't matter what the child looked like.
Which I
they
felt
loved
like
it, which
that
was like, okay, like we get that because you adopted her.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like that's like at that point you're insulting the audience's intelligence. Like, okay, obviously, because you know they're two men, so. Either they had a surrogate or they adopted, so
like,
obviously.
I think that was just like a filler scene, I want to say. That's why they did that. And like, not only that, too, they go back because they make it a point to point out, like, obviously they're together. But he goes, Mrs. and Mr., and he's like, oh, yeah, this is her brother.
Because he couldn't get the adoption, which you didn't really need that. That was such an irrelevant part of the story. It's like, had nothing to do with the storyline at all. Like, literally, you take that scene out, it flows on just
I think it was just them trying to verify again that they were gay.
As if it wasn't obvious enough. It was so ridiculous. And then, like, the whole movie is just, you need to sacrifice someone. You need to sacrifice. No, we're not going to. You need to sacrifice. No, we're not going to. Kill. Sacrifice someone. No, we're not going to. It's like, okay. And then going towards the end of the movie without giving away everything, the movie concludes and it's like, I sat through almost 2 hours of this. Like, you could have done this all in like 10 minutes and I would have been good. Like, they wanted you to cheer for someone or have sympathy for them, but I wasn't. I was like, just kill them off already.
Literally.
It's like,
well, like, what kind of irritated me is because like they literally would come off, like coming off strong, like, okay, they're crazy. They're literally insane. Like something's wrong with them that they think
more
that
so
they
Abby's
think this
character.
is happening.
Yeah, more so Abby's character than the other ones because
she was the only one that actually acted.
Facts. The other ones, they were so dry and so boring.
Well, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they came off as like literally like crazy. Like, okay, there's something literally wrong with them in their heads. That's why they're doing this. They think this. Then they bring up the visions. But then the next moment, for instance, they end up doing something, and she's like, "I'm a nurse. I'll help you. Let me help you." It's like, bitch, you're the reason I'm like this. What?
But we said it during the movie too about give them credit for cleaning up after themselves.
Yeah, when she was scrubbing hard on that floor.
There's blood. Hold on, I'll take care of it. And like when they bust down the door, it's like, hold on, I can fix this. Well, I can't fix that one. But I'm like, okay.
And I didn't understand the double kill.
So
double kills. It was just stupid. They wanted him to be dead, not just dead. Do you have a favorite character? Like, honestly, I know as bad as this movie was, I still had a favorite character, to be honest.
We were talking about this before we went on air. Win, the daughter, actually, she'd probably be my favorite character,
Really?
honestly.
Out of all the shit you talked about her, she was your favorite.
Because I was like, yeah, this is like some child actor getting her start, whatever. And all of it, I was like, she was the only person that actually did anything. That's why. Like, literally. Everyone else was just sitting there just doing nothing.
Well, I mean, they also were tied up, the two daddies.
They couldn't even do that right. Like, how do you fuck that up?
Oh yeah, talking about her though, your favorite character, Gwen. This little bitch was slick with that knife. That's all I'm gonna say. She was very smooth with that knife. I did not see that coming.
And if you really think about it, that was the only moment in time in the movie where something kind of happened that was like, is she gonna do it? Or like, what's she gonna do? And like, their build up for certain things was so long and obnoxiously. Yeah, it was like, you remember that thing we did at Thanksgiving? We're gonna do that when I give you the go. It was like 45 fucking minutes later. I'm like, really? Okay, you had us wait for that.
They had to wait for the right time. It's all about the time.
And like literally, half the movie, the camera is just showing them tied up. Like, yes, we get it. They're tied up. They're trying to get free. We don't need you to keep showing it, especially when there's not making any progress.
Yeah.
At all. And then, oh my God, when
go off.
Things happen.
Let's have it. Go off.
The stupidity of how people like, oh, I'm going to break free and I'm going to not run away. I'm going to walk gingerly and slowly do things, ignoring the fact that there's crazy homicidal apocalyptic people that are perfectly fine that can come after me. Like, I'm just going to mosey on over. They're not going to catch me. I'll make it to the safe place. What? What?
Oh, talking about that, like, I mean, okay. So, one of them has a gun. They get to it. How do you miss someone that close? I will not understand to this freaking day.
Well, the nerves.
Make it make sense.
They were nervous, so they didn't want to.
She ducked after he shot. Make it make sense.
It didn't make sense to her either, okay? It was just.
She was surprised why she was alive. Like,
well, maybe it's a warning shot.
I don't think it was, because he was kind of surprised that he missed.
Then he's like, run away.
That's when he was like, don't move, I'll do it again.
It was like, well, bitch, if I don't move, you're still gonna miss, but whatever.
But that's talking about that though, like, again, going back to how they were like, oh, I'm totally insane crazy, let me help you. Then she runs away, like, which makes sense, like, okay, you're coming too, you don't want to die. And then, this motherfucker.
Yeah, it was. So who's your favorite character in the anticlimacticness of it all?
Adrian.
Oh, the crazy
She
Abby?
was so dramatic. It was great.
She's
like, I got 2 kids. I have them. And I was like, do you though? Do you have a son really?
Like, it was.
If so, did you really leave him 3,500 miles away?
Yes. That's just like, yes, I had to, because I had to save the world, because we had the dream together. And it was very. She was the only character that was actually acting.
And she was the only one that put shit together. Like, remember too when another little spoiler, Daddy Andrew is all like, wait, I've seen you before, this is definitely a hate crime, blah, 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 blah. And then they get more information, and she's the one that's like, wait a second, you guys, what if we are literally just freaking going crazy because we're fucking crazy? Like,
and then Batista's character, who was supposed to be their leader, was like,
that doesn't matter.
We all saw the dream. It's true.
Exactly.
Like, don't fight the dream. Like, what? Like, and he didn't even like get upset about it. It was just like I'm gonna calmly, monotonely talk to you about this. It was
like,
ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. We've already gotten this far.
Basically, like, we're this far. Might as well go through with it.
Fucked.
Let's see if there's any blood. I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, a lot of it didn't make sense at all.
It was just one of those things.
It really was. So what would you say was your favorite part of this movie? If you had one.
Favorite part of this movie? That is actually very difficult.
Did you have a favorite part of this movie?
I don't really think so.
The fact that you left before it ended, was that your favorite part?
Tell people that. I did, in fact, since you called me out. I had to leave.
That was supposed to be honest. We're supposed to be honest with our audience.
I had to go see another movie, actually, when I was going to see this movie. So I had and I can't do math, I'm going to admit that, and he is right. And I was like, I got time, and yeah, I left like, what was it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I was like 5 minutes left.
5 minutes left of the movie, so I didn't see the ending. But I went and saw Ant-Man and Quantum. Now that movie, let me tell you, she's got to see it.
Yeah, I guess I kind of technically have to, maybe. I'll just let you do the review.
I thought it was going to be stupid, but it was actually pretty great. Like,
well, they like you more, so you just do it by yourself. You can just do the review by yourself.
It's called Ding Dong for a reason.
You're still a ding dong, it's fine.
No.
It works just the same.
I need the dong on the ding.
Well, speaking of dongs and dings, what are you rating
This is a triple dong. Dong, dong, dong. Dong.
The gong dong.
Four
yeah.
dong.
Yeah, it's definitely a dong for me. Like, it was not good at all.
I spilled.
Stop
This is
making
our
that-
first dog movie.
Well, hell, we've only did 3.
I think this is our first dong.
Well, actually, only our second one because the first one we didn't ding or dong it.
Yeah, but we still rated it, didn't we?
We said it was worth seeing, I think. I
That's
don't
a rate
remember.
for me.
Yeah, we'll link it up in the cart thing. You know how the kids do with the
Like
little
I
thing.
keep pointing.
Yeah, because you know there's gonna be like.
Still, I know,
graphics
still
and
new to
things.
all this stuff.
You gotta pretend like you're in the virtual world. That's all it is. But yeah, it's a dong for me too. It's if it comes out on a streaming service or something that you're already paying for, sure, watch it if you're bored enough. Otherwise, don't go out of your way to see it.
Do not.
It's
Do not
not
rent this
worth
from Redbox.
Well, it makes you feel better.
It does.
What makes me feel better is ending this episode. So.
It's not an episode!
Well, it's segmentally broken up, so therefore it is.
It's a chapter.
And on that note, that was the final chapter for this scene. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. I've been Quinton. He's been MJ.
Bye-bye.
And we'll see you next time.